Well, hello all, and welcome back to my latest garden update video. I haven't made one in a couple weeks, just busy with work and all and other things. So I haven't been around, but I wanted to get back out and make an update here. I don't know if I've shown these before. I kind of forgot about the canna. They hadn't bloomed, but they had started blooming, I believe, probably after the last video. I can't remember. Oh, there's a nice friendly bumblebee. They're not as tall as they had been last year. I think swear they used to be a little bit taller, but they're still doing nice. I am going to make the lavender lemonade today, since you see it has started to bloom in full force. And get this guy in here enjoying some as well. If I can get that into focus there. As you see, these pretty lavender flowers blocking our steps, so I'll be able to prune these ones off and use those. Cut this back a little bit. The calendula is kind of fading. You know, it's getting some, I think it has some kind of disease. I don't know what it is. You see over the leaves are kind of spotty. Just, I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't know if it's a pest, disease, I don't know, but it was good. The salvias, my brother did recommend staking them. I never got around to doing that, but they're looking nice. They're just kind of again flopping over a bit. I've pulled up some of the garlic, which I'll show you as I get around the side. These ones are flopping over, but they're still green. So I've had people say they're not ready because they're green, but they're flopping over, which gives me pause. But I'll let those go. Probably from the looks of it, at least a couple weeks yet into July, which shows everyone has said. More salvias. These 4 o'clocks are starting to bloom. Complete volunteers from last year. I don't plant a single one. These are all volunteers. I had them in the spot last year, and they are starting to bloom. Roses. The spring flush is over. There's the occasional bloom here and there. I need to deadhead some more of the old spent flowers on there, but as knockouts do, they don't really need deadheading. Like I said, nice 4 o'clocks here. Another favorite of my brother's, so I grew them last year and didn't plan on doing them again this year. Wanted to kind of cut back on the flowers because I'm more of a vegetable guy, more of an edible guy, but well, they grew, and looks like just the red ones. I just noticed there were like yellow and orange ones, I believe, last year. But look, nice. Kind of crowding out the lavender here, so I'm not sure what I'll do. Yeah, the lavender will be fine. It's not going to die being crowded out like this, because there's another one over here. But I don't know if they grow again next year, if I'll let them come back again. The lily has opened up. The last video, I know it was not even close to being ready, but as you see, it is starting to open up. And I haven't taken a smell of it yet, but it's really a heavenly scent. I'm hoping. From the lilies I had before, they were really, really nice. The rose campion are really, really slow growing. I think they were root bound. I think that's the problem. I'm not sure. I'm surprised I have yet to see even much growth on them. The cardinal climber here. I never got around to separating them, so those are actually like 8 plants there. But they are blooming. As you see, there are some blooms. And it is climbing up. I did put in a spot where it could have something to climb up. I was hoping to go up our downspout there too. I'll see if I can train it over there somehow. One of them. But you see it's coming up there as well. Alright. Let's go to the backyard. Here's my garlic drying. I'll put it into something else so it stays, let's see, it's out of the sun. It'll stay dry. These are the smaller ones that I thought were kind of mostly brown. There's some green on there, but mostly brown. They were flopping over, and I wanted to kind of pull them at different stages so I could see, just to learn from experience when they would kind of be ready. As you see, some of these ones are smaller, these ones, and there's this one over here that actually started to split, so I may have to use that one sooner rather than later. But then you see you have another nice one like this one. This one's nicer, and this one's pretty decent here as well. Yeah, this one, I guess. So we'll see. They just have to dry for a few weeks, and then we'll get them ready. I will start in the neighbor's yard. The sunflower area over here was kind of a bust. Squirrels dug them up. There is one right there, as you see. I don't know, looks like it got dug up again overnight. Same thing with this one. Squirrel damage. So I don't know. We'll see. That might be a loss. I threw some beans in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna. Once the summer comes, the summer heat really comes, I don't get out as much to do work, more maintenance, and then coming out to water these guys every day to make sure they germinate. May not happen, but we'll see. Pot potatoes. Pretty sure there's a Purple Majesty and I think a Russet in there, Russet Rio Grande. I overwatered them last year, and all I got when I emptied the bucket last year, the pot last year, was the seed potatoes that were kind of gross and used up, and no actual potatoes. So I am definitely underwatering this year as compared to last year. So, and I actually was wilting at one point because I hadn't watered it. So we'll see what happens with those ones. These, I just brought some baby reds from work, grocery store, bought potatoes, just threw them here, recovering with some mulch. There's some guinea pig bedding in there, and we'll see what happens. Tomatoes, onions are doing well, and the pot, there's a weed in there. Pull that guy. The sunflowers over here doing a little, they're getting a little leggy, stretching out. I'll have to hill them up a little bit, help support them at the base. The Brussels sprouts growing nicely. I get a close up of the inside. Well, you see they're growing slowly, which they have months to grow yet, so I guess this at this point in the season is a good point. You see these ones who also are doing well. And the main garden here, the traditional potato bed, which you can't really see much. Got some storm damage. We had a storm, and then afterwards, as you see, this whole area flopped over. So I never got around to hilling them. Just a lot of stuff going on this spring, and didn't get out here to hill them up very well. But we'll see what happens. Should still have something. And like I said, there was a walking path here. You can see that pole there. That's at the left end of the path, and then like almost a foot to the right there was a walking path. I should have realized they were going to kind of flop and grow together. I should have made it a little bit wider, but I didn't. Not that it would have mattered. You see there are still some blossoms in here, but most of them are done, so that should mean that tuber formation is occurring. And I'm getting very impatient, but I know I have to make it at least till mid-August. Mid-August is when I harvested them last year. I think it was August 19th. So I'd like to wait to at least that point. We'll see. Even though I planted them 2 weeks later, I planted them March 27th this year, I believe. And I planted them on St. Patrick's Day last year, so I'm curious. Sweet potatoes are noticeably bigger, especially this half of the bed. You see a lot more green as opposed to that half. So, I mean, I'm guessing it's a sun exposure issue. I don't know. The soil should be the same for the most part. If anything, better over this side because I did have potatoes about in that spot, right where that whiteboard is, last year, and I had replaced the soil to give it a good head start. So I'm kind of curious why this side has so much more growth. Is it the plants, that just the better plants, the more vigorous slips ended up on this side as opposed to this side? Is it sun exposure? I don't know. I mean, they're starting to take off the one of them, because that's one right there. See that one in the corner there going down this way. So I mean, they are just slower growing. They're growing just a lot less vigorously than that side. So we shall see. In the next video, hopefully you'll see a difference. I don't know. It's supposed to warm up in a couple days. It's cooler again now. They like the heat. Now the next couple days it's gonna be cooler again. It got down to 50, I think 55 overnight last night. So I don't know. We'll see. But this side is looking nice. It's sending roots down. Some people say to dig up the roots where it re-roots at a secondary location. Others say not to. I probably won't, just because it's less work, and we'll see what happens. These were some more of the bush steak. Excuse me. Bush steak hybrid tomatoes that I had started inside. Didn't get around to plant them. They got root bound. Kind of were looking a little yellow and bad, but looks like they're starting to perk up, and they should hopefully produce. I'll have to again hill those up a little bit more because they're starting to look a little floppy. The edamame got attacked and decimated a lot by the squirrels, but there's some there. I should get some from them. I have to hill these up as well because they're getting a little leggy. It's kind of a shady spot over here because of the neighbor's fence, but they did okay last year, so I mean, no reason, nothing else changed. If not, the ground should be a little more fertile. Or I mulched. I had leaves over here on every bed. Even though they weren't shredded, at least it kept it covered over the winter. So if anything, it should be slightly better. But that's pretty much it. And here's another view of the potato bed, which all you see. That's actually the end. That's a little, see the border there inside, they're flopping over. But they did get storm damage. Like I said one time, you see here, a little bare spot, because they got flopped over. But you see they're still alive because they're still bending back up to the light. So I added a bag of potting soil on top of that just to provide some hilling and protection in case there's any tubers over there. But and let me see. I get over here. The onion bed kind of got overwatered with weeds. I kept the old wire compost metal bin here, was here in place because I thought maybe it would keep critters out, but actually kept me out more than anything, and weeding. So there are greens in here. I think there's actually a couple volunteer pumpkins in here. Here's something, see? There are some things in there, weeds, onions still in there, so we'll see what happens. If nothing, I'll have some good green beans, or not green beans, green onions we can use. Let me see if I can look over here. Yeah, see this one? I mean, they're not really. Doesn't look like they're growing much. But let's see. If anything, it'll be some good green manure for the garden beds. And the weeds, these are ones of the garlic that I have left, but they're kind of flopping over. The potatoes kind of flopped over, invading their space. There's actually one here that's completely horizontal. I probably should just dig that one up. It's not going to get any photosynthesis done. And there's another view of the side view of the sweet potatoes. Yeah. Let's see what happens. All right. Oh, and here are some flowers. I can't remember. I know one of these is nasturtium, and the other one is, I can't even remember. But if anyone has any ideas which is which, yeah. All right. Well, that's it. And I'll see you in a week or two.